This is episode 232. It might give you a thickness.
It might. Let's whack one quick more. It's the tone control.
It's the tone control.
Bing.
Ting or cymbal crash. Nope.
Definitely not. I'm fine.
Oh, Derek's doing fine. Hey, it's your every other week friends, Derek and Justin, here to talk to you again. So, Yep, that's and everybody's doing good, I guess.
I cough a lot on this show, and I hate that about myself, and I apologize all the time. I am officially in the state of like always a little sick. Now because Jack's at daycare and stuff. So I have also finally turned a corner into like, all right, I should call a doctor. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have this lovely like gravelly thing going on like in my chest, and it I feel fine.
Yeah.
It just sounds gross, and I can feel it, and it's weird. But so I'm just a little bit sick all the time now, and the joys of parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Parent Control.
Yeah, I know what that's about.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, maybe there's something clommed on in there, and it's not just it's something they can help with. You know, never know.
Yep.
Sometimes they can.
Yep. It's gross.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll live.
Sure. I think I saw Jack was home today.
He was home today, but he is usually home on Mondays.
Oh, all right.
It's that my in-laws usually come up here and do childcare for me while I'm here working. But they're all sick too. So it wasn't a good idea. They're like stomach bug sick. So it was a please stay away kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he's daycare Tuesday through Thursday, although we're looking at changing that just because, it's not super sustainable only doing 3 days, but we'll see. Maybe we'll only do 4. Fridays tend to be easier. Nobody cares about this. Anyway, how are you?
Doing all right. I guess the exciting thing that happened was part of our car fell off.
What?
So here, all right, here's I haven't told this. This is what I was thinking. I think this is okay to tell because I haven't told a story in a bit. Like one of these wild things.
Okay.
The outcome of this is probably good. Anyway, so I'll just spoil it that way. But so we actually it's Marielle's car that she's driving all the time, right? The electric plug-in thingy, and she's hearing this weird noise. She had just she ran over a tack a couple of days before, and the tires are basically spent anyway. So we ended up replacing a couple of tires because of it. And it was this thing, and emergency call. Like I have to take Ari to the thing because she's driving there now, and instead we're going to meet halfway, kind of because I can't put the thing on and it's losing air rapidly and all this stuff. Okay. So then she starts hearing a noise, and I definitely react to her
sorry, this is after the tires have been fixed?
Right. So this is fixed, and it's a couple of days later. And she calls me, and she's like, I'm hearing this rubbing noise. There's something in my tire again. And I'm like, I definitely give her the this is not, you're full of it.
Yeah.
Right? You're freaking yourself out. No way. And she's like, I swear you're not taking me seriously. And so she stops, and she looks under the car, and she's like, it's not the tire. Look, and she FaceTimes me and shows me there's a sheet of plastic. There's this shield on the undercarriage, and part of it's drooping down and dragging on the ground.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, what the fuck is this? I mean, clearly a cosmetic / aerodynamic part.
Yeah,
but
my car has that too. We have the same car basically.
Yeah.
But even our model from a few years ago, it's a completely smooth bottom.
Right.
I say it's like a Ken doll. It's just completely, there's nothing under there. Yeah.
So it's that piece, the whatever shield, right? And So then I have to do we have to do this shenanigans again. I have to set her up somehow. She has to keep driving it. So I have to like do this swap. She doesn't drive a manual transmission, so she can't drive my car. So I swap a car with my parents' car. We would do this little like reverse borrow thing. She's driving my dad's car. I'm taking her car. I've got to go into a different studio that day. I'm not even working from home the next day. So I run it to Toyota, have them take care of it really quickly. Well, what can you do, right? It's like basically take it off and get it drivable, right? Just take the piece off. I know they're not going to have it laying around, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So then the guy says to me like, I mean, if I put in an order for this part, it's not going to be, they're going to deny the warranty because it's damaged. And I'm like, what do you mean it's damaged? The only reason it's damaged
does that mean?
Is because it was dragging on the ground. I mean,
and the only reason you would get it replaced is because it's fucking damaged.
Right, exactly. Like, he's like, I can't put that back up. I'm like, I know, it's all fucked up. Like the edges of it is all worn down from being driven on. And I'm like, well, why'd you drive? You know, he says something to me like, why'd you drive on it? Like,
I gotta get it
are you
here,
serious?
asshole.
What did you think I was going to do? What else? So anyway, after
let me just airlift it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking piece of shit.
After I give him a little bit of sass about that, you know, it's like, could you just take it off? And okay, you know, and I'm kind of in a hurry. I know I talked to him on the phone about this, so he's a little prepped. So, and then he comes back around. He's like, okay, look, so I took it off and I took all the little clips that hold it, everything that was still there, and I put it in the back of the car. There's like a dog cover back there that was really convenient. We have a little chat about it. And he's like, I don't think they're going to cover this if I just put it in. So would you call them about the warranty, just get it approved, and then I can come back and I can order it. They don't charge me anything. They just do the thing. You know, they get me sorted out. They're fine. Yeah. But like, he's saying to me like, oh, geez, this is damaged. And I'm like, it's not damaged. It fell off and got damaged. You know what I mean? I didn't crash into something. And likewise, there's like room for like at least 16 clips. Well, there's only 6 of them there. So obviously what's going on here is these have been falling off over the course of the year that we've had this car, right? Like they failed.
Which caused it to fall in the first place.
Enough of them get gone that eventually a corner of it dips down and starts grabbing the road, right? Yeah. So that's the thing. Like clearly.
What the shit? So like
this is bullshit. So then it's
super bullshit. Because like, first of all, my whole thing with this is what the fuck is the warranty for? Right. If not exactly this.
So and the thing I said was, so if you spend like almost $50,000 on a car, you kind of think that the warranty covers chunks of it falling off, right? And he goes, yeah, all right. I agree with you, but, you know, okay.
Personally agree with you. The mechanic,
Yeah. So anyway, the next day I have to do my thing, right? But then the next day I call them, I start calling the warranty. Well, the warranty guy is very nice, but he starts looking the part up and he's like, this part is not covered because it's part of the body. Right. So it's not a mechanical or electrical part. And I'm like,
so it's like a non-essential part? Is that what that means? So like
well, so come to find out, if you look up the warranty for these things, the number they give you is actually like the Toyota extended warranty. And he explains to me, well, actually, this is not really covered by that because you don't need any warranty for this. This is just its manufacturer's warranty, right? So this is something that, and okay, so how do I do that? And well, he finds me a different number. And I call and it doesn't really make sense, the menu tree and stuff. Eventually I get a person and I'm like, what's going on with this? And they're like, I don't really know because the regular warranty that isn't the extended one.
Because you're the first human on earth this has ever happened to.
Well, why does a customer not ever have to deal with the regular warranty? They don't have a customer facing number. Do you know why? It's because that's what the dealer does. So when the guy says to me, I don't think they'll cover this if I put it in, the actual thing,
so they're not even expecting a call from a real person. Like,
The actual thing that Toyota explains to me later is he makes that choice. Okay. So the
Does
guy,
he know that?
Yeah, I mean, not to my face, but the answer is he typed into his computer, damage not warrantyable. He's the one who makes that choice. So eventually, by the time I've gotten to the someone, I've got myself kicked up to a Toyota senior brand representative. And I feel like I'm hiring them for a movie or something. I don't know why I'm talking to this senior brand representative, but that's who I get. And she is extremely on it with me. Like, she is taking care of me. Once again, I feel like I'm hiring them for a movie. I don't know why, but she's on it. Isabel, by the way, at Toyota senior brand rep, like, she's on it.
Crushing it. Way to go.
She's calling the guy. She's calling me back. She's doing all this stuff. Anyway, we're waiting on a quote, which I'm supposed to hear from her tomorrow. And I fully believe she'll call me back because she called me back again the next day to say she hadn't had the quote yet. And I'm like, she called me back. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I actually feel really good. She's told me that they are going to help me out with this.
As in, Toyota's hooking you up because
I assume, she's like, typically because of the snow, there was snow that day. And I'm like, this isn't, snow did not pull this off the car, right?
No.
Probably salt pulled this off the car, if we're being completely honest. And here's what I think. This is like a very new design of car. Like the plug-in electric version of this car, this is the first year. So this has got to be one of those car things, right? Where it's like,
next year, this will be a different material, or the clips will be arranged in a different way. The clips
are going to be salt resistant from here out. You know what I mean? Just replace it. So anyway, I'm assuming they're going to replace it at this point. I feel okay about it. But it was a little bit of like, and I never had to be impolite, but I did say to them, so I spent this much on a car and you're telling me that chunks might fall off of it and you're going to say it's my fault. Like, I didn't wrap it around a tree and expect them to pay for body damage. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, so anyway.
And it's not a car insurance thing either. Like, it's.
Right. And I'm sure that this part is not $1,000 part. Like, it's an OEM car part, so it's probably going to be hundreds, but like.
It's just a big piece of plastic or metal. It's a big piece of
molded plastic. Yeah. So.
Well, a piece fell off of my car too, but it's because I hit it with my snowblower. And it popped right back on.
Going, okay, snowblower dude. Like,
they're like, now I see you do a podcast with this clown.
I see that you guys like having shit fall off of your RAV4s.
No, we got a bunch of snow here last week or whatever, and just the front edge of the snowblower caught the tire the plastic around the wheel well, just a little trim, and it like, because ours is missing a clip there anyway, and sometimes it rattles on the highway, and I just need to like
friggin' salt, dude.
I just need to put something in there, and I haven't, and so I nicked it, and it just was like punk, and the whole thing popped right out, and I was like, oh no, totally
fine. The spot, like if you were gonna do a tear down video, you found the spot, right? That you're gonna get it all started.
You insert a guitar pick in here, and you pop the whole thing off.
The car disassembles quite easily after that.
Yeah. So I like stopped when I was pulling out my flashlight and like snap. I went back in. So totally fine. Awesome. But it's like, ooh. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then I had the really fun time of saying to Beth, so I hit the car with the snowblower the other day. And she's like, what? Drops everything. It's fine.
We're going to be fine here.
I fixed it though. Fixed it, babe. Fixed the car.
Got it sorted. Okay.
I don't have any cool stories like that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. All right, let's hey, all right, update. There's guitar stuff this week.
Actually, play the ad roll and I got a guitar story after this.
All right.
Thanks to Pedal Genie for sponsoring the Tone Control. Visit pedalgenie.com and start your wish list today.
So as viewers can see, my Novo Ceres J is on the wall here, the red guitar.
Yeah.
And I got this after waiting a long time, and I've had it for like 6 months now, and a little less than 6 months. And I've played it pretty much exclusively since it came. Grab some other stuff here and there, obviously, just to like keep some guitars in rotation. But just the other day, I was like, oh, I'm going to grab my Les Paul because I'm working on some stuff for things I'm not really going to talk about yet. But I was like, maybe the Les Paul is the thing for this job, you know? So
Derek's secret guitar projects.
Yeah. So I grab it thinking like, knowing, not just thinking, but knowing this is my other very nice guitar. Right. Yeah. I have a lot of guitars. Many of them are just sort of middle of the road. They're good. They're great guitars, but they're not, they're not these like luxury purchases, and I have like 2 of these expensive guitar purchases. So I pick up the Les Paul, and you know what I mean? So like by comparison.
Well, I actually think it's interesting that you phrase it that way, because like you have the MJT.
That's a parts caster.
And yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was all like picked out.
It's a luxury thing in the sense that it's custom to me. That's the luxury part of it, I guess. Price wise, though, it was not expensive.
Price wise, and I guess the same thing goes for like the Stratocaster and stuff, like the old standby. I mean, like
at the time, the Strat. It's an American standard Strat. So when I got it in, I don't know what it was, 2002 or something. 2003 or 4. It was like $1,000, right? And that's as a kid, that was a lot.
This is the Fender Gibson conversation, though, because like that's See, in my mind, I'm sorry to hijack. Is that not equivalent a little bit? Like, because the level of guitar that is to Fender versus the level of guitar that like you're this is a big boy Les Paul, you know what I mean? It's not like a custom
of course.
shop,
and this is a big boy
I mean?
Les Paul. It's a 2017 traditional. So there's no weight relief. It is a straight up as classic as a Les Paul can get, without any of the weight relief, without any of the coils splitting and other weirdness and stuff. So it's just a straight up Les Paul, which is what I wanted. And the Strat, you're right, is a big boy Strat, especially for the time. Right. It was the American standard. That's all there was. Yeah. Right? There was some other fancier stuff, but it was the American standard was just like the thing. That's what you got. And it was that, or the what was it? Was it just the standard, the Mexican line, the Made in Mexico line? I mean, there's like 2 main flagship lines.
Myself in whatever year.
I know. So, right. So
anyway,
there's that whole thing. Excuse me.
Okay.
But so comparing though, like having played the Novo so much,
right?
I think like I'm gonna go grab my other really nice guitar. There is a major difference. Major difference.
In which way?
And in that Gibsons are not as nice as we think, and which is maybe not a surprise. It's probably not a surprise. I mean, cost aside, I guess whatever. I got a really amazing deal on the Les Paul at the time, well below retail. So, I don't know if that's a factor. For me, it kind of is, but like for
they made the guitar worse because of the deal you got, though.
The deal, right? You know what I'm saying, though. So, like, I don't feel that heat as much, but so. It's still a good guitar. I still love it. It sounds great, plays cool. Like it's a good guitar, but part of it is just it highlighted how guitars have not changed over the years, like the Les Paul, just that's how we do it, right? Out of tradition. And it is very difficult to reach that upper register without like the whole neck heel and stuff getting really in the way after you play the Novo, because it's got a ton of upper fret access in a very comfortable orientation. So you're not really running out of room for your thumb to sit somewhere until you're up at like the 20th fret.
Yeah.
And with the Gibson, it's not like that. So
the traditional nature of the Gibson, the fact that they were sticking to the traditional thing for so long and through is holding it back at this point compared to this other guitar. Yeah.
And there have been other Gibsons, other Les Pauls over the years that do like the Access cutaway, the Access neck heel, and then the cutaway. They do a tummy cut on some. Like they do these things, but they never make it the new way. You know, they never make it. That's how the Les Paul is now. Yeah. So,
and there's too much. There's too much. You could say history. I think you could fairly say rhetoric. That's keeping them there, right? They can do these other things, but it's never going to be their main thing. Their main thing is being
tradition,
imitating their own collector models.
Yeah, it's like lore. You know, there's this special magic about the Gibson Les Paul. It is high up on Tone Mountain, and we shall not change it because of its amazing history of whatever, which is not incorrect. Right? That history is there. Yeah. So it was just really surprising. And also to go from my heaviest guitar or my lightest guitar to my heaviest guitar was a little bit of a weird, like, don't do that. That'll mess you up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just interesting. Like Les Pauls are not they're not very comfortable guitars. Just the way that you...
They're too heavy.
They're very heavy.
The balance is not great most of the time.
It's not where you expect.
Yeah.
And it's
not like diving or anything like some body shapes do, but like it's, I don't know, it's not.
But the vast majority of Fender stuff has like arm contours and tummy cuts and stuff like that. Those are guitar, like Strats, very comfortable to play.
Yeah.
And Tellys, a lot of Tellys in the line now have the tummy carve on the back too. Mm-hmm. Because
it doesn't harm anything to put it there.
No,
it's totally
and
okay.
the Novo is very heavily sculpted on the back too, and it has that Strat style arm carve. So I don't know. It's just been like a really interesting realization because I've grabbed some other guitars, my PRSs and a Telly or this or that, and they always feel like how I expect. Maybe because I'm just very used to them.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not familiar with the Les Paul, but it was like this. These are my two like A+ models, right? These are my two premium guitars that I have. And it was just a really interesting comparison is all. So,
and the PRS especially too, like those always strike me as being in that Les Paul, like there's an example, I should say, of you can have, it's not just Fender body types, right? It's like Les Paul zone, Les Paul
single cut style guitars.
Yeah, yeah. And, set neck style and things like that, where you still can have these accommodations and, that is fun.
So I just, played on it for a half an hour or so and I was like, man, this thing is a dog. Like it's just like, it's not in a bad way though, but like it's because it still sounds great, and it's still a very cool guitar and it plays great and stuff. But I'm like, oh, this thing is like it's not easy. And and it has taken me, when I got the Novo, I might have mentioned this in Discord, I'm not sure. When I got it, you open the box, you get it out, you play it a bit, and you're like, wow, this is so fantastic, right? I've waited all this time. It's exactly what I was hoping for. But it takes 6 months or a year when you switch back to other guitars that you're like, oh, I get it now. Like those small details take a really long time to show themselves, I think. And it comes down to things like this where I'm like really comparing minor details among things. And now I'm seeing like where that money actually goes, right? Where the expense in these luxury guitar purchases goes. It's that little stuff.
Cool.
So that's all. That's my little guitar story.
Sweet. All right. Hey, so we have some guitar pedal news and any particular order you feel like tackling these or anything like that you want to... Derek,
I have no preference.
Make some adjustments. Okay, we'll just fucking fly by the seat of our pants then. All right, here's this random friggin' thing. I
don't know.
Yeah, Dual Fusion from Wampler.
Wampler. I hated that pedal.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me that the last time I played this riff.
That's what it was. And I was like so annoyed with the pedal. I was like, I'm just going to play some fucking dad blues because it's stupid. and this pedal's stupid. And I was like so annoyed with not being able to get sounds out of it that I liked and stuff. I like what Wampler does. It's weird. I appreciate Wampler. And he's a very smart guy. I like his social media content. And he talks a lot about how pedals are made and why they're made the way they are and stuff. And that's cool. That pedal was not doing it for me.
Yeah, that's something else. That's something else.
So
King demo came out great.
Thanks.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this first one here. Do I have it on the right tab? I sure do. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the latest game controller that I picked up for playing my spaceflight sims.
I mean, do you like it in D to R or R to D?
Yeah, I don't know what you just said.
Okay, cool. So this is the Melee Wall of Noise from Walrus Audio.
Here we are.
It has a joystick, which I am thrilled to see in the lineup again because very, very early in tone control history, I got the Janus from
remember that
from Walrus Audio, which is a fuzz tremolo in one box, and it has two joysticks. It has two of these very same joysticks right on it. and I have not seen them since. So I'm pumped to see it still being used. So
they have some joysticks laying around the shop.
Yeah. So this is a distortion reverb combo with one joystick. Okay.
So I like the idea of it being like a reverb kind of thing with like, this is like a spatial panning control, right? Or something.
No, hold on to your butts. So
all right.
The vertical axis, the up down on the joystick controls amount of distortion and the left right axis controls mix.
Mix of reverb?
Good question.
Because why would you don't want to mix on your distortion usually for guitars.
It must be reverb mix.
Must be reverb mix. Yeah.
Joystick control. Here we go. Yes, the reverb wet dry mix and the amount of distortion.
Fantastic.
So to the right is fully wet, to the left is dry, and then up is fully distorted and down being not as distorted. So like what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So
this is a real stinker to the the pedal board that has like a cover and stuff, right? Because this joystick's gonna, I don't know, is it gonna?
Yeah,
can you thread it off? I mean, you can't keep your settings or anything, right?
No. So like if it's anything like the Janus that I tried back when, the joystick is very much intended to be manipulated. This is not a set it and then like set your knobs and that's how I like it. It's not that kind of thing.
Right.
So this is you're supposed to get down on your hands and knees and move this thing around.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you put it in the back of your car, that motion, that like a ka-chunk in the trunk of the car, like that's going to move this joystick.
That's going to be enough to throw it. Yeah.
It's not stiff. It will stay put. Like it's not going to drift while you leave it someplace on the stage, but you know, you could just shake the pedal and it will move around.
Yeah.
So anyway, it has an order switcher, which is what I was mentioning a minute ago. Distortion into reverb or reverb into distortion. So like perfect, right? This is
I mean, I struggle to imagine a situation where I'd want the latter, reverb first.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's a pedal designed for shoegaze, like straight up. It's in their marketing material that this is a shoegaze pedal, which reverb first, that'll get you there. Like that'll get you that big wall of sound.
You can't go anywhere else. Let's see. Nothing else.
So there's 3 reverb types, and those are ambient reverb. So big, long decays, big wash of sound, just massive reverb. Mm-hmm. Then there's an octave down reverb, similar to the dark mode on their slow. If you're familiar with the slow reverb from Walrus, it's very similar to that. Mm-hmm. And then there's a reverse reverb with feedback. So it'll do all kinds of weird shit.
Well, you put that crap in front of your distortion, you've really done it now, huh?
Yeah, you're like tearing a hole in space-time. And then there's the only other controls are an overall output volume, and then the 3 toggle switches for the order switcher, an amount of decay, and then a tone switch. Ding, a tone control.
Tone control.
And there's a sustain switch that's like a momentary thing that will just infinitely hold. You can get to these different reverb types by pressing both foot switches together. And that's it. Like it is a absolute noise box.
I will say about this episode of the Tone Control, we are going to tell you about 3 pedals, well, actually 4 pedals today, and not a one of them is a tube screamer.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love this. I love it.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, it's $2.99. It's pretty expensive,
guys,
but like
notes.
Reverb pedals get expensive.
Yeah.
But you add these controls and stuff like this, like it's bonkers.
The sustain button, fantastic. It's
very cool.
Yeah, that's one of those attention to detail things.
And if you hold down the bypass switch and move the decay toggle, that is a secondary function to add modulation to the reverb.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So
I like it. 5 stars with 6 reviews here on Walrus's own site. So the reviews are in, and it's pink.
It's like a tree on fire. Like what is it?
Like green flames, it looks like, or something.
As usual, Walrus has been doing these full band demos on their site where every guitars and bass have been using. We'll use this pedal
use the pedal
in a jam, and they They do a great job. It's very cool. So
I
go check that out.
Great job, Walrus. All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's whack one more quick item, and then we'll throw our pedal genie in. Do you like that? All right.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, here we go. What is this? No, I'm just going to play this little one. I think I've used this recently, but I don't know. Yeah, friggin' Bit Commander, man.
Commanding bits.
I hate that the Google Doc always leaves my bold on. Oh, well. I don't know why I'm spending time doing this. Oh, well. Okay, so what's up next, everybody? Well, Justin just does a weird,
Holy shit. What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, this is the Wacka. Derek.
Okay.
This is
Thanks.
the Wacka. All right, so this is a pedal. This is a boost pedal that has no controls and just has a bunch of unlabeled switches. It has 9 unlabeled switches.
And LEDs.
And LEDs for each one. They all do something. It's exactly what you think it is. It is dumb.
Wow.
Okay, so
hang on, it's a boost?
This is a boost. So this is a collab between Big Ear Pedals. So Big Ear is making this as a collab with Big Ear and 60 Cycle Hum.
The guitar podcast that everyone knows that's not us.
Right. So these guys apparently a long time ago made sort of a quip or something. We're talking about something that just some random on-air idea, right? A pedal that was just a bunch of switches for no reason, just to be difficult. And now I think it's been years, but they were like, okay. And then they talked to I think the Big Ear people called them up and said, hey, we want to do this dumb idea you had. And they worked it out. So essentially what's going on here, this is a boost pedal. And every one of these switches adds a little bit of boost. They're not different.
All right.
So each one is a little bit of gain. And so the more of them you turn on, the louder it's going to be.
Huh. So what order do they go in?
Who cares?
That's a good point. Who cares? Because there's no knobs. It doesn't matter.
And it's dumb. So if you want, you could go and watch the video where he sort of explains and demos this thing. And you could try to push most of them, and then you want to turn off a few. Well, you're going to have to get specific. Apparently, it's shipping with a small wooden hammer that works good for turning on and off the switches. He spends most of the video just sort of laughing to himself about how fucking stupid this is.
So I am interested. Maybe I'm just ruining the bit, but I am really interested in how this works because, they can't all...
You mean electronically?
Yeah, can they all be the same level? Because then it wouldn't get louder, right? So it has to cascade, right?
Yeah, they definitely cascade, but I don't see what difference it makes what order they're in, though, because...
Right, but is the last one the loudest change? Is the first one...
No, they're equal.
Okay.
They're equal. He demoed it. They're essentially let's imagine that there are 10 gain settings, including off, right? That's what's going on here. And every single one you turn on, it's that. If you turn 6 of them on, it's on 6. And it basically doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter what 6.
Because it seems like they're probably in series, but they're they're true bypassed or something.
That's awesome.
So
I love it. And I love the idea of stepping on all 9 of them at once.
Yeah, exactly. And just try, hopefully your shoe's big enough or whatever. So
it's ka-chunk.
It's dumb. So they're making 60 of them. They're not shipping yet. They're going to wait until so-and-so's back from whatever country, and they're going to autograph them. So you can order it. It's going to be $250, which is a lot for this. Just so everyone's clear, but whatever. It's basically a collector's item. You could put a deposit on one for $125.
$125, yeah. Huh.
So anyway, that's that.
They all have their own indicator light.
Yep. 9 LEDs in your face. There's a power socket on the back. There's them all just being marveled at their own stupidity.
There's the hammer, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he uses the hammer in the video. He says it works well. And then he laughed to himself for another 5 full minutes. So, it sounds fine. He plays it. It's great.
Yeah, but what kind of boost is it? It's got to be a good pedal, right?
I don't fucking know. I don't have any idea.
See, this is exactly.
He was like, "This is probably 2 bypass." Is it? I don't know.
Who cares? Like, this is exactly the kind of shit post that the guitar community needs way more often to not take itself so goddamn seriously.
Yeah.
Right? I have so much shit with this field that I love, and we talk about it all the time. This is exactly what I'm after, right?
Yeah.
Not just because like it's a funny little
$250.
Yeah, but like right. I mean that part sucks. But you know, it's like the fart pedal, right? That was just such a moment. This is so good because like we all need to remember that like this shit's dumb, right? It does not matter. None of this matters. So like, I don't know. I also see
to
this
their
and
credit,
I think
the 60 cycle hum guys are taking it exactly as seriously as it deserves to be taken.
Good.
So
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
From them. That's great. So, you ever see something and think, boy, when the next wave of humanity, like
when the anthropologists find this,
when the anthropologists find this shit, like what are they gonna? That's what this is one of those like curveballs that is gonna throw off.
You could lose this to history. You could.
Yeah. I mean, if there's only 60 of them, they're going to be like, what does it mean? 60 and then 9 switches. And like, they're going to do all this like complicated
numerology. The paint's all worn off. So like, what are you going to do? You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, it's real.
Anyway,
there's a physical unit in his hand. All right. So
that's so good.
That's fucked up. That's what it is.
Boy, I can't wait to see those for $1,000 on Reverb.
That'd be a shitty move.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. All right. I say we run a Pedal Genie ad. I think the gifts tonight, everybody, are going to be
the gifts are bears.
Bears. All right. My body is ready.
Mine too. I was wondering what you were. Okay.
Pedal Genie is like the Netflix of guitar pedals. Rent any pedal you want for as long as you want, for one low monthly price. Shipping is included and there are no late fees or time limits. With over 1,500 pedals to try from nearly 100 different manufacturers, Pedal Genie definitely has the gear you want to try. Subscriptions start with Flex at just $22 a month. Try out one pedal at a time for as long as you want. Send it back when you're ready for the next one. For only $47 a month, the standard subscription includes shipping, so you could have a different pedal every few days. If one isn't enough for you, Pedal Genie Pro gets you 3 pedals at a time for only $77 a month. Shipping included. There's a subscription for everyone, and best of all, your first month is free. If you find the pedal of your dreams, the one you just have to keep, Pedal Genie will offer you a buyout option. Prices vary with the length of your membership and the type of pedal, but you'll definitely get an awesome price for the pedal in your hand. So head to pedalgenie.com to fill up your wishlist with pedals, and they'll send out your first pedal ASAP. Pedal Genie. All your pedal wishes granted.
The thing about it is there's some pretty goddamn realistic bear costumes available to the public these days.
This one dancing cartoon at the end is dancing exactly in time with the music.
Oh, it was nailing it for you? That's great.
I bet it's one of those weird gifts that's oddly in time with like every piece of music.
Yeah. It's like the perfect tempo. Yeah. The ultimate tempo.
I don't have a new pedal. I still have the Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, well, we could put it on screen again.
Got it right here, baby.
Yeah.
I was meaning to do a demo of this, and then my weekend got away from me because I have a 6-month-old.
Yeah, you this is reality. It's fine. It's fine.
I think what I'm going to try to do is just do demos again, but not stream them at first, just because that's a little. I can walk away from doing a few takes to help out with baby things if I need to.
Yeah, don't have to like. Not scheduled.
This should point out that I still have this because I do really want to do a demo with this thing because it's a lot of fun. So I haven't just some pedals I do the thing on the show and I'm like, okay, next one please. But no, I want to give this one the proper treatment. And it's the Hawaiian pizza from Caroline Guitar Company. It's great.
Yeah,
have you sorted your whole shit yet?
I still don't have shit, dude.
Oh my God. All right, let's just move on.
Yeah. So we're gonna roll past. I've got another thing. All right, so here's what's up next. We're going to talk about new tech from Korg. There's kind of a lot going on here. I don't know if we ever ended up talking about any of this, but this is sort of I don't know what the origin of this is exactly or how long it's been around, but there are these things, these NewTek powered by Korg things here, and one of them, it seems like there have been these 3 products. One of them's a little synth, just tiny little synth thing. There's a headphone amp, and then there's this guitar pedal that's like an overdrive. And they all talk about this new tube with new tube.
Right.
And there's no tubes in here. It's just the way they're kind of doing their electronics. They're trying to like kind of sound like tubes or whatever. But the thing that's actually the same that makes these all part of the same thing is that they are kits. And they're not like you have to solder everything together kits. Like they seem to kind of come like as an assembled PCB, but you're putting it in the case and you're putting the switches together and stuff. And so these existed, they're kits. So there's the little synth thing, and oh look, there's another thing here that I didn't know about. Here's the headphone amp. There's an overdrive pedal. And you can sort of see in this picture here, like it's a populated
like mostly
PCB.
done for you.
Yeah, like you get all the little washers and stuff, and you got to put the screws all together. That's kind of the thing. So, there's 2 parts of my feelings about this. One is like, why is this a kit? Like this OD pedal is $300.
Oh,
so you got to sound really good to be $300 plus you have to assemble it, right?
$300 for an overdrive.
Yeah,
come on, like like that's. Yeah.
All right. So the part of this that's actually new that actually came around, I think this was like a CES thing.
Okay.
Which is why it was kind of new. So there are these 2 new NewTek guitar pedal kits. There is this harmonic distortion.
Okay.
And which is the HDS, and then this is the TRS, which is a power tube reactor. Okay. These both, they're not tube screamers, right? So
good.
It's like I'm going
We're
to
off
allow
to a good
this,
start.
and I'm kind of not wanting to focus on the fact that they're kits because it's the same basic deal, right? I wonder if the other image is. No, see, they're not even going to show me the exploded.
Are these kits though? Are you sure?
It says they're kits.
Oh, it says it does. Can be assembled easily in the same way as a plastic model kit.
Yeah, like they come with this. I'm going to zoom a little here.
Yeah.
It comes with a little sheet with click out wrenches, and you know what I mean. It's the fact that it's a kit is a feature, but it's not like buying a from Build Your Own Clones or something like that where you're not learning to solder here. It's just being assembled. Now these, they seem to be only available in the UK right now. So they're each for 200 pounds. Okay. I was skeptical of that, so I did kept kind of paying attention and actually listened to some things. They're not going to be for everybody, but they are pretty cool. They're not doing typical things. They are not just like they're not going to be. You can't exactly compare them to other pedals that are out there. This is a fairly esoteric kind of different thing that most pedals don't do, kind of stuff. So I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Which one you want to hit first? These two.
Well, I was sort of thinking. Looking at the older one, this ODS, that's $300.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm wondering, because of my stupid traditional guitar player brain, is what kind of overdrive is it?
It's a tube overdrive, but it's not really.
But it doesn't.
It's pretending.
It doesn't say anything about like this TS style or this Klon style, like this transfer. They're not using any of those buzzwords to let you know kind of what it is. But it says circuit diagrams are readily available in the download section. So I need somebody who's much smarter at this stuff than me to read the circuit diagram and tell me what it is. But I don't know. I mean, I'm
For
looking
what it's worth, it's pretending to be a tube. Like the knob on it says tube gain.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing, they're trying to make it sound like a tube overdrive.
So harmonic distortion.
Okay.
The red one.
Yeah. Okay. So we have
now harmonic 1, 2, and 3, and then there's like that lifts off, and there's like not set screws, but like trim pots in there.
Right. So this little thing kind of slides out of the way.
I think there's a picture of it if you scroll down.
Where are they showing me? Oh, there. So, so you can sort of see it. It swings out of the way, and you can adjust those. Okay, so here's what's going on. You kind of have to like watch somebody demo this to get the idea. So we'll try to run through here. So you've got typical kind of pedal controls along the top, gain, tone, volume, and then there's this gate control. And then this little indicator screen on the bottom, there are these 6 LEDs. They change color and they react to kind of show you what's going on. There's like a visual feedback to when you're playing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it changes color depending on the harmonics that are involved. Now, harmonic 1, 2, and 3 are these different, basically, sets of harmonics, and you can mix in kind of a customized amount of each one.
Wow.
Okay? So you can be all one, you know what I mean? Or a mix of all of them or whatever it is, right? And you combine those and you find this sound. So the sound of this pedal is fairly fuzz-like, but the character can be very, very, it can sound like a lot of different fuzzes, and it's not exactly any of them either. It's
interesting.
It's pretty fuzzy, but you have a lot of kind of control, and the gate control, it can sound like a very gated fuzz depending on the harmonics. Sometimes it's squelchier or not, but I mean, if you spin this gate knob all the way down, that makes it very, I don't know what to say. It's almost like backwards from what you're expecting. If I turn that knob all the way down, it's going to cut all of your loudest notes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so the knob opens the gate, so to speak.
Yeah, or like lowers the threshold or something like that. The higher you turn it up, it kind of, it's something like that. I'm not really sure if it's a threshold or if it's something else, but it's effectively that's kind of what it's doing.
So the fact that like you tune this pedal to like what you want.
Right.
With those trimmers, and then you've got the other more conventional controls. Yeah. Just for what like you would normally have. So that's an interesting idea, and I don't hate that. That sort of stuff, though, is usually what pedal builders are doing for you. Like that's why you buy so-and-so's Blues Breaker instead of someone else's, because they've taken the time to make their flavor of it by doing things. It may not be exactly certain harmonics.
But in the case of fuzz, right? In the case of fuzz, they're doing it like there was a conversation in Discord today. It's like these different clipping options. There's a common now that pedals will have this, and you're either mixing them or you're figuring out which ones to switch to or which ones to turn on or whatever. It's kind of it's like that in concept, but I think the execution is completely different in this, because you are literally just mixing in an amount of this harmonic or that. And I kind of think what they're doing is like odd harmonic versus even harmonic. I'm not sure what the third one would be, or if it's, you know what I mean? It might not be exactly that, but that's how it strikes me when I hear it. So it's a cool sound in the demos that I heard. And I feel like investigate if you're into fuzz. Also maybe investigate if you're not into fuzz, because you might find
it's a new way of doing it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm now looking at the TRS.
Yeah. Okay. So power tube reactor.
Yeah. So to deliver the responsiveness, the feel of a vacuum tube guitar amp.
Yeah.
But it's a pedal. It's not
the distortion part of a vacuum tube guitar amp. It's the power section of it.
Like a preamp? Okay. Not a preamp.
We're simulating this. So what they're going for here is they're trying to simulate rectifier tubes. So they're talking about the sag and compression only, not the distortion. Right.
What a specific thing. Okay.
Yes.
Like that is something we have not seen yet when we talk about like amps in a box and stuff. Like you're talking about like, this sounds like a Crunchy Marshall or whatever.
Right, exactly. So format wise, we've got the same thing. We've got, clearly the same case. We've got the flip away thing with set screws under there. Under the set screws is a tone control. And then you've got these controls for power sag. We've got a separate threshold and sustain. So what does this mean? So like the sag is kind of like when the power amp of a tube amp can't really keep up with a sudden change in volume.
The input, yeah.
It kind of compresses in this very particular way. So they're attempting to simulate this. There isn't real power tubes in this or anything like that. But they are simulating it essentially with compression, and then they've tried to arrange I feel like the timings of the compression in such a way that it's presented to you as though it was a power amp. And so you're kind of controlling it in the way where, I mean, you would never design a power amp electrically with this, you might design a power amp electrically with this in mind, but you never would have this control, right? This is only kind of available in this simulation setting.
Oh my God.
Okay. Is this weird? Like, it's totally different.
More evidence that we are living in a simulation, but go on.
Yeah. Okay. So across the top, because this is also an audio program, across the top, we've got, again, 4 knobs: volume, power sag, mix, which is going to be like dry signal, no pedal.
Which is between direct to tube.
Right. So all tube would be 100% pedal.
Yeah.
And then direct is direct, right? And then tube gain. So there is sort of a gain section to the tube thing. So maybe I lied a little bit. There may be some distortion.
It's not
if
an
you were to really
overdrive
crank
pedal.
it.
But I was going to say, I bet the highest gain setting is still it's probably just like saturation. Like it's fullness and not
right. Because when you get distortion from a tube amp, it's happening mostly in the preamp. Anything that you would think of as like heavy distortion is coming from the preamp section of it. You're not going to get that much out of the power amp. It would be, you could think of it like, if you're juicing a clean amp right out of its own window.
Right.
That may be the kind of distortion you can achieve this way. And I don't know how realistic their tube sim is either, because I really think the sag is more important. So in demos, you can really dial in a massive amount of sag, plus the control of it is kind of crazy. The sustain, essentially the sustain set screw is going to be how quickly it recovers. Which is, you never have this actual control in a real tube power amp. And likewise, the threshold, you're deciding how quickly it's going to grab onto one of your notes, right? Or how loud you have to be before you're starting to feel that sag. Again, you don't have that control. You would be adjusting your guitar if it was a real tube amp to find that spot, right? And the thing I've compared to real amps that I've used, or even simulations that I've used, you can create way more sag than is realistic with this. If you wanted to, right? And
Helix lets you do that.
I'll say, like, it isn't just a compressor, because, I could pretend that my compressor was power sag. But it's not just that. I watched the demo enough to notice that it reacts to different frequencies differently. So just like a real power amp, if I hit the lowest string on my guitar really loud, I'm going to cause more power sag than if I hit the highest string really loud, because it takes a lot more power to create those waves at lower frequencies. This is like the white noise versus pink noise kind of thing. Like it's same power will create noise that's very high-end focused, because it takes a lot more power to produce low frequencies than it does for high frequencies, right? In an electrical system. So you get that, right? You can dial in at the same threshold, playing up high, and then I hit a big low note, suddenly we get a lot of sag. And you can dial it in to be very pronounced. So it's cool. I've never seen something do this before.
Me neither.
You speculate, like, where would you use this? Would you use this with an amp sim? Would you put it before the amp sim or after? I kind of feel like after, but maybe not. If your amp sim had if it had lots of distortion, you'd be either always in sag or never in sag, right?
Yeah, after could also include the speaker, though. Like if you're putting it on a board, like after your HX Stomp or something, but you could put it in the loop. Now that
you could put it in the damn loop. Yeah.
So this is very interesting. Like this is, I still don't know if like this is
I don't know if this is needed.
Or if it's cool. Really quite the way that I think maybe it could have been done, but it's here, right? And I'm curious why those 3 controls on it are in trim pot under that little protective cover and not just on the face of the pedal.
Right. But, it's definitely like a format that they've come up with.
Yeah, and it's like those are the ones you set it and forget it.
Yeah, they didn't put it on the old one.
Yeah. So and these are still kits, right?
Yep.
Wow.
They are still kits. Can I cut to specifications here?
And it's like $200.
Korg UK. It's 200 pounds.
200 pounds.
I think those are pretty close these days. Not sure. Yep. TR-S pedal kit.
It's about $250.
Oh, okay. That's quite
so, I mean, that's like not, I don't know, $250 again for like drive stages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For this one though, like for this like power sag situation, that doesn't feel insane because this is really the only thing in its space. But
yeah, I mean, more so the power sag one than the harmonic distortion. But I think neither of these has is in sort of a saturated space.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I don't think if there are other pedals that do similar things to this, I'm not aware of them.
I haven't heard of them. Yeah.
And there must be few. So
yeah, I mean, stuff like you hear about preamp pedals, but not
that's kind of the opposite of this, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You hear about preamp pedals, then you hear about actual preamps that are in pedal format that you do put in place of your amp's preamp. But that's still not this, because then you're still using the rectifier stage from your tube amp.
Yeah. So like when these flew across my news desk, and I thought, power tube reactor. Okay, that sounds niche and silly. It sounds like it's going to be one of these extremely subtle things that I'm like, I cannot believe you would pay that much money to have this. But it I'm sure could be subtle, but it does not have to be, and you can dial in some wild stuff. I would, think of it like a really specialized compressor. I think it's like a compressor in the way that like a rotary speaker is a modulation. You know what I mean?
But like you're not going to use it. It's not even formatted or designed to be used as a compressor. Like
the controls are not laid out that way. I think it is designed to be used as a compressor. I mean, you can have it on or off. You might have it on most of the time. I think you could use it kind of as a compressor, but because it reacts differently to different frequencies, I think you can achieve something that you probably couldn't achieve with other compressors. I don't know if that's super valuable.
Yeah, I just mean like if you're in the market for a guitar compressor pedal,
yeah,
this is something else. It feels like
right. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. Like if you wanted the sound,
if you want a Dynacomp, you're not gonna use.
You wouldn't reach for this. This probably wouldn't make that sound. I wonder what it would be like if you tried to make a Dynacomp sound out of this. Would this one sound better at it? I don't know.
I'm also curious. Like this sounds shitty, but like why does that? Not the harmonic distortion, but like this tube sag thing. Why does it have an off switch? Right? Like what scenario?
Yeah. Well,
may you turn this on and off?
I think it's because you should probably be thinking of it as a compressor pedal in a sense.
Okay.
Like it's a very different kind of one, but it's a compressor. Like you might not want it on all the time. Maybe you would. Yeah. But
I'm curious if we're going to see, like you said, people using this with amp sims to make them more amp-like, like to bridge that gap.
Yeah. And because it has a mix control on it, you can get this, what you can get on it is, so there's this thing that I'll do in mixing sometimes, often actually, depending, on different kinds of sources like drum sets or whatever, but like create a sort of hyper compressed parallel path and then blend that in. So maybe the result of this pedal is actually quieter than your direct signal, but it's totally like leveled out in this power saggy kind of way. And that might give you a thickness and really kind of loudness overall without increasing your peak level. It's like this sneaky way of, without increasing the peak level of any particular sound, you're increasing the overall loudness by basically bringing up all the quiet stuff in the background.
Yeah.
That's something that I could probably dial in with this pretty easily.
This feels like one of those things again where we've never had it, so nobody thought I need it, right? And
But it comes from guitar heritage too. This is the other funny angle.
Yeah, like, and it could be one of those things that like, it's like, oh God, it's happening again. Like the thing needs to exist before you can think of the crazy ways to use it. Like its creation, it's not, doesn't necessitate usage, but like it's not the necessity of is the mother of invention thing. Like it's both of those together.
Yeah.
So,
and I had a similar reaction about this. Like when I heard harmonic distortion, I was picturing, this is going to be one of these subtle things like a tape emulator where we're just adding a little bit of fuzz around, and it's like, oh, do you hear that? Like it sounds like analog tape. And it is not. It sounds like a fuzz pedal. Yeah, it sounds like a fuzz pedal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and their
kits,
very
significant,
and that's kind of fun.
And their kits, which is in a I guess a fun way.
That part of this is so unnecessary. Like the kit, like it's cool. Like pedal kit's great, but this whole thing of like
brand.
what it's doing is far more interesting than it being a kit.
Yeah, but I don't think they like the rest of this brand. I don't think really touched on that. Like this is a headphone amp. Okay,
cool.
You know what I mean?
Whatever.
So it's like a portable head. Here's a oscillator.
Neat.
Yep. Here's a little thing with a keyboard strip. A little synth.
I like the little synth. I like that. Like I would love to have a little like keychain size synthesizer. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But I don't think any of these are doing anything. And a kit for that is such
a cool idea. But
yeah. Well, and Korg already had these like mini synth things that were just a little off the shelf. It's a funny little toy noisemaker that could be a legitimate instrument in the right hands, right?
Yeah.
So what is this self-assembled? Why is all of this new tech stuff self-assembled? Like it was clearly a choice they made for this whole line of products, but I don't know why. It has to be.
Is it something stupid like?
Yeah, why doesn't it exist separately? Because like for some people, this is probably like, oh wow, that's cool, and then we'll put it together. That's fine.
Is it something stupid like they thought the price would be too high if they built them themselves? Like I don't know, right? Like what is the?
But look what they've done. They've done all the hard parts.
That's true.
The only thing that's left is like the manual labor of turning. Yeah, you have to like turn 10 screws, right?
Yeah,
so like that's not. It couldn't be, right?
Huh.
Anyway,
and it's not like you're being encouraged to like with BYOC, you can learn how to solder, you can read the diagrams and all that stuff and get a feel for how pedal building works. Yeah. At the same time, you're sort of loosely encouraged to think about, at least, what do all these parts do? And what if I change this part to that part? And you can't do that with this.
That could be your springboard, and you could end up like making modifications to them, and then that leads to designing things and coming up with stuff on your own and understanding some stuff. None of that's going to happen here. You're just turning washers and stuff over switches, and it looks like the switch itself. I can't find a picture. I mean, this is a Molex. Yeah. You're not even, the switch is a separate piece in this OD pedal I can see, but everything's it's a pre-populated board. You're just plugging in a plastic connector here.
Yeah, I mean, you could put this whole thing together in 15 minutes.
Yep. So.
Okay. This is rad, though. Good find.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and I think those two new things are obviously, I think they're far, far more interesting.
I agree.
So anyway, yeah. So.
Yeah, sweet.
It's pretty neat, and they're definitely not available in the United States yet. But I don't know. I think they just came out for CES. So, anywho,
right on.
Let's do some other silly thing.
Neat.
Yeah.
I'm watching you type. Supapus? That's a good pedal. I like the way huge stuff.
Yeah, they have a funny way of their pedals are really light. Or every one I've ever held It feels like really thin cut steel compared to a lot of other pedal cases, and
I think it's aluminum.
Is it? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. But I mean, it's like they're like solid, but yeah, it's just a totally different feel from most other stuff.
So, things of the week. Did you remember what yours was from the pre-show?
Things of the week, I sure didn't. I'm always concentrating on other stuff. I know it must not seem like it when I'm recording this show, but I am actually thinking while I'm doing it about doing it. I'm thinking about doing it. I don't. Oh, my dog's
that's so
switching
meta.
to the other side of the couch. Anyway,
yeah, it's like flipping to the cool side of the pillow, but for a dog. You know,
right?
You go to the other end of the couch.
I want to be in the shot now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know what? I still am really. The other thing that's been going on lately is I've been really enjoying this my little handheld video game thing that I got ages ago, and maybe that's sort of interesting. So this was the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus that I picked up. There's newer versions of this thing now that have much more powerful chips and features and stuff. But I mean, for $100 that I spent on it, I think it's interesting that like. What is this, like almost a year on? I'm still using it a lot, and I've been playing through old, it runs emulations. So Super NES, NES games. It plays Dreamcast really well. Something about Dreamcast is able to be emulated a lot better than you think.
Dreamcast was like such a moment,
yeah. Yeah.
God.
So like, I'm playing, I have a bunch of like random shooters and stuff you could pick up and play stuff that I remember. But like the thing that I actually can do that I would never be able to do, especially that I'm really enjoying, is like old RPGs. Cause I think like the Super NES era was a golden age of RPGs. And, I'd love to occasionally dig out an emulator. Oh, look at, we're going to do this because, it's like, I don't care if you have these cartridges. Like, I'm not going to hook up my whatever system to the TV,
Yeah. How long has it been sitting on your shelf? Like, it doesn't work. Yeah.
If you do, then that's awesome. But for me, I have this little thing, like I'll play for 5 minutes before I go. Anyway, so I've gotten to play through an RPG on Dreamcast that I never had finished, which is sort of interesting. And then a bunch of like Square Enix from back in the day, before they were Square Enix, right? But like some old Final Fantasies. We've got there's this one obviously I don't have a cart for, but like The Secret of Mana had a sequel that only came out in Japan. Everybody raves about it, like, oh, it's so much better. They did all these things that were so stupid about The Secret of Mana. Well, I finished that a couple of days ago. Had never gotten to play it. I'll say this, I counter all their reviews. The Secret of Mana is the better game. There is weird bugginess, the whole thing, the controls feel sluggish. All of the things that people say are better about that game from Secret of Mana, I actually think are not as good. The story, you get to pick characters instead of just having the characters be part of the story. And, which characters you choose shapes what happens in the story. But it falls under the same thing. Like the more open world you make an RPG and the more I can do anything I want you make an RPG, the less impact the story will have, because it necessarily has to be a little bit standoffish and amorphous or it'll get in your way. And the same thing happened with this game. So so I'm still having fun with this little weird cheap handheld Android thing that I have.
That reminds me, the new Hogwarts Legacy is coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
I might check that out once I'm finished with God of War Ragnarok, which will probably be a future future thing of the week for me.
Yeah, people rave.
Just absolutely savagely brutal. God, it is gratuitously violent, but like, God, it's good. You turn into a wolf at some point, and like, he's just he's gigantic wolf. Mouth on the head of a bad guy, and just off it comes, right? Just rips it off. It's crazy. Anyway. So my thing of the week, though, is this. Sorry, are you done? I just like.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
No, I didn't want to keep talking about it too, because like I definitely like talked about it when I got it. The only thing is, yes, I'm glad I made this purchase because I have been having a lot of fun and I have been playing games that I never would be able to play because I just I would not make the time
$100 and you've had it for a year.
Yeah.
It's a few bucks a day.
It's rad.
Not even.
Right.
Right on. So my thing of the week is a
it's It's a wild thing.
It's a just because gift. That Beth and I do this just because thing.
Yeah.
Where we trade like who gives each other a gift just because. And there's no time constraint. It's just you trade who's up. So I gave it to her first. She gives me something. And we have this basket downstairs that we just fill up the basket with stuff that you think your partner would like. No time constraint, no financial constraint, no just stuff, whatever.
Well, first time I got sweet.
Yeah, first time I got her like just a bunch of. We got some new water bottles, and I got her some like fun stickers for it, right? That kind of stuff. So she got me one of these like sensory like pop things.
Those are,
I know that.
That's what Aria loves. Those fun things. Pop it.
Yeah, so it's just like a little one, and I sit at my desk here, and I pop them all. It's very satisfying, and like I don't really think I believe the whole thing. Like, oh, it's a fidget, helps you focus. Like I don't know about that, but it's still fun to do. So who cares? So in my thing was this, and then there's also this very cool thing called a CMY cube, and
that's what I got right here. On-screen imagery.
Yeah, there you go. So here we go. Here's a light.
Yeah, this boggles me. So is the color on the like on the edges, I guess, because the
color is on
achieves those
faces.
But
it's doing some very odd. I don't even know. It's not math, but it's like because if you look at it straight on,
you only see the one face.
You only see the one color, and in this case, where I'm looking at you now, that's cyan. But if I turn it now, it's yellow, and if I turn it this way, it's magenta. But then if you turn it in between. You have to see it through both sides.
Right. So is magenta on both of those sides?
I don't know.
Because you can't ever see it from the inside.
Yeah. So I can't ever just put my light out. I can't ever see it from the inside. But then as you turn it, you see through multiple planes of it.
Big cams here.
And you can see green and and purple and other
well,
shades.
And there's an internal reflective aspect.
There's like
to it
a prism aspect to it. So it's just this piece of acrylic.
It's like a little magical object.
Yeah, it's 1.5 inches square or cubed. Sorry, and it doesn't do anything. But man, is it fun to look at?
Look at that damn thing.
It's great, and it's like really sharp on the sides and stuff, so it feels really nice and tactile. And it's just this very cool, satisfying looking thing. It kind of has like
I could like see your glasses and stuff.
Yeah. See, like, it's very odd. And everybody I've shown it to is like, ooh,
right.
What magical quest item is this?
Yeah. And so you just like, here they are.
Here they are. And you can get them in all different sizes. And like they make big ones if you want like a 4x4 inch one or something like that. This is the 1.5 inch one, and it's just cool.
Awesome.
So that's my pick, the CMY color cube.
All right. Yeah, that's a really neat thing.
It's a very neat thing. I keep it on.
It's a goddamn neat thing.
It's from the same place we got these switch pens from last time.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a set of
in the back pocket.
Yeah, I do. It's actually this Art of Play. I have a sticker on my water bottle. Go look up artofplay.com and buy me anything from that site. Anyway, I got somebody got me a whiskey glass set for Christmas, and it came with these 2 like faux marble coasters, and I keep one on my desk, and the CMY cube sits on top of it, and it just looks very nice sitting on top of its little faux marble cube. And as I see it and I can look into all of the different colors and stuff, and because it's mostly white, you can see through the bottom pretty well. So that's the thing.
Sweet.
It's good stuff.
All right. Well,
and go do a just because bucket for your wife.
Yeah, go do it. Yeah,
for your partner.
For the people in your life.
Yeah, just
that's a good plan. Just cause.
And the only thing is, the only rule about it is you just trade who gives.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's my turn, and I have until the end of time to give it back. And there's no expectation to do it. Like
no expectation. That seems like an important thing, right? An important aspect of it too.
Yeah, like I gave her the first one before Jack was born, and just got this stuff a couple days ago. So
nice.
I'm here popping this thing on my desk. I don't know if it's coming through.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've run over an hour again. That's fine. That's what we do.
I feel like this was a good one.
It was a good episode. Good chat. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you find for me an image of the new t-shirt design that we made? Because I forgot to call one up while I run down the end of thing, and hopefully we'll be able to throw it up on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for watching / listening to the Tone Control. And as always, you can join us on Discord at discord.io/Tone Control, where you can chat and participate in all kinds of wild shenanigans that happen. And if you want to be a supporter of the show, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/TheToneControl. And supporters of the show get special super duper bonuses, like being able to join us in the...
So I've been having a problem. I've been having an issue with Discord lately where like I try to add an image and it just doesn't send. It's stuck like, no processing. Thanks. Yeah, but no, I replied in our DMs to your post to me with the image. So if you just click back to your own text, it should be there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Why is this not sharing? What the frig? Anyway, I'll just try again. Just stuck on processing.
This is. Yeah, I think that's the final design. Yeah, it is.
That's the most recent one I have.
All right. Yes. So Patreon supporters get special bonuses like being able to hang out with us in the show while we're recording. And we do things like monthly hangouts, which have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying those.
Yeah, so it's it ends up being like we've been recording them and we've been posting them again as Patreon exclusives. So any supporter at any level can go back and kind of follow up on them. We're just talking about whatever. Last time there was a lot of books and movies. One other time we were playing Discord games. You don't know what the hell's going to happen. And we just it's a podcast episode, except everybody in the audience has their mics on.
And it's not about guitars.
And it's not, and it's, but sometimes we accidentally talk
sometimes
about
it
guitars.
is, but it's usually, we don't come in with anything prepared. So.
Yeah. And I don't think we have like a direct link to the merch store anymore.
No, I don't think we do.
I should. Anyway, we have this new, here, I want to zoom that. I'm going to zoom that in. So we finally made some new merch that isn't just the typical Tone Control logo. This is it.
And when Justin says we, he means he made this because I was too busy.
Yeah, whatever. I made this with my non-skills on Canva.
It works, and people will buy it.
This is we put this on a bunch of t-shirts, a couple of sweatshirts, things that generally have dark colors is what this works on, dark colors that aren't red. This design works on pretty well. So and I think I did the bags and stuff too. So check them out.
If you're listening, it says it's the mids.
Oh yeah. It's the mids. As I said last time, I think it was something that we said the last time we were talking with Alex from Copper Sound.
I think you're right.
Because you know what? Guitars, it's the mids, guys. Like, So anyway, so check that out. Anyway, now we thank the Patreon supporters. And I'm also going to go back to the other chat. I'm going to pull up the thingamabob and I'm going to start the thing. All right. Woo. All right. Patreon supporters, thank you. Nick Greenwood, Carson Ricketts, Matthew Fenslaw, my mouse covered up a thing, Ryzen Wolf, Jamie Evans, Doug King, Big Daddy Doug, Righteous Ryan Johnson, Steve Huffman, Jonas Sabatini, Mr. Wonderwall, Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast, Mako Guitars, Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Doug Christ of 37 Effects, and Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects. Thank you all ever so much. And we'll see you when we decide to talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.